Hey, grateful day, y'all. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be sharing with you my collection of Mickey and Minnie Mouse ears from Etsy to different places that we visited for Disney. This actually was inspired by a short form video that I created a while back on TikTok, and a lot of people were asking about questions related to the ears. So I thought that I would just share the entire collection. And if I am able to still find the active link, especially if they are on Etsy or something similar, then I will make sure to link it below. So let's go ahead and dive into my collection of ears. All right, so let's first go over the Etsy ears. And so the first pair that I'm going to show you is a pair that I bought a couple of years back, probably 4 years at this point, but they were for the Oogie Boogie Bash. It was our very first time going at Disneyland in Southern California, well, DCA. So I purchased these. Typically the ears can range from $30 to $45. It depends on the seller, but that's typically the average range. Now, one thing I do want to say when you do purchase ears on Etsy, especially if you are getting them for a special event, is you want to make sure that they are going to arrive on time. I have played with trying to order ears that arrived late because the delivery date, even though you may pay for rush shipping and you contact the seller, they can't guarantee how the postal service or however they're shipping them is going to land on your doorstep and in your mailbox. And so you don't want to find a due date that is within a couple of days of, especially when you travel. So we got these for the Oogie Boogie Bash. They're really nice. These actually turn colors when you're in the dark. It's just the white glows, for example, on the Pirates of the Caribbean or something like that. But you have the orange sequence bow. Then of course you have the spider specifically for Halloween. And then you have the spider webs on the side. What I do love about the bands on Etsy is they're not cheap or flimsy. They are thick, unlike some that I bought on Amazon that are more for little girls and for a throwaway. I call them throwaways, meaning they don't last past probably one wear. But unlike the regular ears, because of how still thinner they are compared to the ones you buy at the park or online through the Disney store, is they don't hurt the back of your ears. And so typically, ladies, you know what I'm referring to. You have the ears on and they typically hurt like this muscle or something like right in the back of your ear. And then you have to take them off throughout the day. And you know, what's the point of having on the ears if you can't wear them past like an hour or they give you a headache? So I do love the expandable band. And then on the back, they're pretty plain and they just have the spider webs. So this was for the Oogie Boogie Bash. So the next pair that I purchased on Etsy was actually for a family trip. We went with a family of 24. We stayed off property at a 14-bedroom home through a website that my cousin got because my little cousin was graduating from high school. And I bought these specifically for the Animal Kingdom. Me and all the girls had our own special ears. Again, purchased them through Etsy. Again, the band is really flexible. Now, just to show you the value in these ears in terms of them not being cheap, most of these ears I purchased at least between 2022 and 2023. It's 2026 at the time of this video, okay? So these have lasted fairly long, and anytime that I go to Walt Disney World, I always take these. When I find a pair that I like, I will just switch up my outfit and then I will wear the ears over and over again. So these have the gold sequence ears as well. And then they have the strap here that it's not Velcro, so you just want to be careful not to accidentally snatch that off. And then as you can see here, they also have like the greenery to match when you go to Animal Kingdom and walk around. Then you also have the gold lining here. They're not pearls, but it's just like these sequences, but glued here. And they have them all around the edge, all around the ear. And then they also have a braided, it looks like it's two different types of gold. It's the regular gold, and then it looks like it's like sequence glitter for every other twist where it goes around the entire ear all the way until the end. And then if you look fairly closely, you will also see between the leaves, you have this rope. So it really feels like you are in the trenches at Animal Kingdom. But again, these ears are very, very comfortable. And also when you buy them on Etsy, I would encourage you to see what other collections they have, because it is also easier if you are able to purchase from one seller, especially for one trip. That way, you know all of your ears are coming at the same time. Okay, so these two ears, I'm going to show them to you together and then I'll go over them separately. These were actually from the same seller. So as I just previously mentioned with the Animal Kingdom, I found one seller that does a design that I really like, and I really love the pearls. So I bought pink for just, you know, having pink. And then I also bought red when we went to the Very Merry Christmas party for the first time back in 2024. So with the pink, as you can see, they have the pearls, and the pearls are hidden Mickeys engraved, not engraved, but pretty much, glued on the ears. The ears are velvet. They're very, very soft. And this, again, very expandable, very nice, and everything is the same material. So you have the front here with the bow, with the strap for the bow. And then in the back, it's pretty plain. But again, if you feel it, it's very, very soft. And yeah, that's the pink pair. And then the red pair is the exact same thing. Now, I do recognize that if you see right here, you really want to keep these in a safe place. I learned from this pearl falling off that when I bought these, I kept them in the clear package that it comes in, because when it rubs against stuff, like mine are all not on the wall or anything, they're in a drawer. And when they stack on top of each other, let's just say if I'm trying to yank out the drawer because maybe one of these is sitting up like this, you don't want to do that with these because these will rip off. And so I am missing a little ear there. I don't know where it came off at, but nevertheless, I still wear them. Nobody knows it's missing unless I just pointed it out to you, right? But these are from the same seller. And again, if I can find these available from that particular shop, then I will link it below. Sometimes when you do also purchase them, when you open up the boxing, I love the unpackaging, by the way, is that they will sometimes even give you a coupon code for your next order. All right, now these are one of my favorite. This is definitely over 5 years old, and it is my Kobe edition. And so his last championship, actually around it was past his championship, my apologies, but it was post, death. And so when they had announced the homegoing of him, I rushed online and found anything that I could. I'm in Southern California. I found anything that I could that represented Kobe. I had this personalized sippy cup that I had ordered, and then I also purchased these ears. Now, truth be told, I only took these ears to the park one time because these are more collector items for me. I do not want them getting messed up. And so got them on Etsy. They were about maybe 40 bucks. And so you have his jersey numbers here. And then you have, of course, the Lakers here with the sequence gold bow. The ears are also purple sequence as well. And then in the back, it is plain. Now, if I were going to a Laker parade, right, then I would wear these if they go to Disney World or something, even though I'm representing Kobe. But these are so, so pretty, and they're light. And then the band is like a silky black. And then the inside is brown, and they're stretchy, but this part is not as thick as the other one. So you just want to be careful not to stretch this out too much, but this is how they look. It's like super cute. And then I would have like my Laker Kobe, like sipper Starbucks cup. So those are my ears. Okay, I actually have one more Etsy collection, which is from, again, Christmas season. So I purchased these for Disneyland, and it was for the Christmas season. And I like the inspired Louis Vuitton print. And so one ear on the front is red, one ear is green, and then it actually switches when it goes to the back. And so this is more of a cloth cotton material. You see the Mickey Mouse is here with the inspired Louis Vuitton logo right here with the white, and then the D for the Disney. You have the red sequence of the bow, and then it follows with the, I don't know what these are called, but the little diamond things, like all around the back, stitched around, and it's about 2 layers. And then you have the regular sequence that matches the bow all around in red. When I purchased these, they did have different colors. They did have other inspiration of particular brands. So what I do find is that if you are looking for something inspired, it may or may not come up if you actually type in the word of the brand. So you may have to just follow breadcrumbs. If you see one you like, the way that Etsy works, just like the algorithm, is that if you click on one, scroll to the bottom of the page, and it will show you similar sellers that have similar items, okay? So they have like ones that match my monogram of my handbags for this particular brand, and so many other things. So like I said, the back switches the color of the ears on each ear, but I love these, and I've worn these every year during the holiday season. So what I'll do is I'll switch out depending on if I'm at a party or just the vibe, or even honestly my outfit, because this one has green. I will swap out these with the red velvet ones. So I'm also a deluxe resort girly. I love all types of resorts, even off property at Walt Disney World, but I did purchase these because we were on our deluxe kick. We are DVC members, and I love the Grand Floridian. And these are the only ears that I actually own from a actual property. So we buy other things like mugs, but I purchased these ears, one, because I love that it can go with denim, neutral colors that I wear to the park. And I can also mix match this with like pink, like I did the other day when me and my son went to Disneyland. So they do have another collection. You do have to buy these on property, but this is the Grand Floridian with the powder blue with their logo all around here. Then you have this pretty net. It reminds me of, you know, the Bridgerton dresses here. And then you have the gold Mickey here. And it's plain on the back, but the same material with the logo. And then the ears, you can see it's thicker. It has the Disney Park logo. Let me see, you can read it here. So you have Disney Loungefly, because I do have a Loungefly that matches. I'll show it to you in a second. This is leather. So I love this material. And then the inside is actually more flexible than some of the ears that I've purchased over the years. And they are velvet light blue on the inside. Let me actually show you the Loungefly that goes with it. But when you go to Grand Floridian, when you get close, you will notice they are currently in 2026 the same color, but the logo and this part is actually different. So this is the Loungefly. I, again, only wear this sometimes because going to Disney with my son, whether it's out here in Southern California or somewhere else, these are just entirely too small for water bottles, snacks, maybe rolling up a jacket. I don't put my stuff in lockers. I don't want to go back to the car. So this would make more sense maybe if we went to Disney World, because we may go on property to take a break and then go back. But I don't wear these a lot unless there are people with me and they can also have bags and we can share. But this is the Loungefly that matches. You can see it has the Mickeys all around with the stitch gold, with the gold lining right here. You have the gold plated zipper, and it's the same size as regular Loungeflies. You see that the Grand Floridian matches all around. Then you have the Loungefly plated plate right here. Then you have the powder blue strap, leather. It is pretty comfortable, and I mean, it's a decent size, but I can't put much in there, but I will definitely maximize a little space that I have. So this is my Grand Floridian collection. So now I'm going to show you my park collection, and it's only 3. So here's a park collection that I purchased back in 2023. It was for my son's 5th-year-old birthday. I will pop a picture up right here of our photos. We had matching the jerseys on, the big long sleeve shirts. And then I had my ears to match. We wanted to be coordinated with our boys for, the pictures going around the park, and of course for memories and the vlogs and stuff like that. But these are jean. They have the purple bow, so I do like the accent color so that it's not so plain. And this reminds me of if you cut a jean and it starts to thread, that is the thread around with the splatches of white. So it's the exact same on the other side, but it just looks like they cut out the cloth because it's not exactly even clearly on each side. And you can see on the back, it's the same thing, just the splatches everywhere. And then the band is the continuous same material. I do cut off those long tags, and I need to get better at fine tuning my threads that sometimes hang. It's just Disney. Can we do away with the 1-foot tags, okay? Because nobody appreciates them. I understand we need them for the store, but let's cut them, because I don't even like when people walk around and they just got a big old tag. I be wanting to tell the ladies, man, here's some scissors, cut it out, because if you take a picture, it's just like sticking out like this. Like it is crazy. But these are cute, and like I said, they're pretty neutral. So you can even mix match it with like blue jeans, purple, pink top, blue jeans, and some cute little shoes. So here are my park ears. All right, so it wouldn't be Disney if we didn't have the traditionals. And so this was probably one of my first pair of ears from the park, probably 9 years ago or something. So these are the typical basic Minnie Mouse ears, full sequence, red bow. I don't even know which way is the front, which I guess is I guess this is the front, because here's that tag thing again. So it's all sequins, polka dot, black and white, red sequence bow, and it's pretty much the same around. There's not much to describe. What you see is what you get. And they have the sequence around. Now, these were one of those ears that I had to break in. Now it actually feels like the other ears, but honestly, it's probably because I've had them so long. I wear them so much. But again, they have the thickness. They do not have that big place card on the side. I don't actually know if that is only, it seems like looking at all my ears, it looks like those are only for the ears that have a matching lounge fly that goes along with it so that you can have a matching set. But these are pretty plain. And then in the inside, it's more of the velvet type suede. But here are my traditional Minnie ears when I just want to be simple. I don't want to say basic because ain't nothing basic about Disney, but you know, you just want to be simple. So here are Minnie Mouse ears. Okay, so these ears that I'm about to show you are from the parks, but they're not from the United States. It is from when we went to Disneyland Paris. I so want to go back, but now that we know what to expect, we definitely want to choose a different time of year. We went in October of 2022 and we had so much fun. We did a split stay. That was in a season where I was doing more short form content. I definitely regret not doing more horizontal footage for a vlog. So most of the footage is actually on my phone, but here are my Mickey ears from Disneyland Paris. And so you have the gold sequence ears here. It feels more like satin with the ears. And then as you can see, it actually has a picture of Tinkerbell and the gold castle from Paris. We actually were inspired to go from some vlogs that I was watching at the time of them celebrating their 30th anniversary. And so that was the whole goal of us going. The drone show blew fireworks out of the water because they did follow up with fireworks. But in terms of comparison to the States, we were just like, wow, we really need to do drones because you can do a lot of stuff with drones. And so I purchased the ears out there. I will pop up a picture of me in front of the fog because it was raining for both days that we actually went to the park. So I think that's also why I want to go back because we enjoyed it, but it went so fast that now looking back, it just almost feels like we didn't go because the days were going by so quick and we lost a day and a half traveling. So we did stay on property and things like that. So yeah, it has the satin. And then if you turn it to the back, it is, you know, the sequence ears, the satin headband. And then this one says the actual Disneyland Paris right here. And again, these were one of the ears that hurt my head. So it still feels a little tight. I don't wear these a lot. They definitely have to go with me wearing maybe more darker colors. It doesn't go with like maybe the pinks and things. Like I wouldn't wear it with, what is this? A Grand California, like Vacation Club little sweater. But I wouldn't wear it with this. I would wear it maybe with all white or if I'm wearing the darker colors in the fall. But the ears are, you know, pretty cute. But like I said, make sure that when you're trying them on, you just give yourself some time to break them in like they are some tennis shoes. All right, so now we are on to my favorite, the area I want to go back to right now the most. Your girl loves water, okay? And so it's not Alani because your girl is an Alani home member. That's my home resort. We are in Southern California, so it is very easy. But we have the Disney cruise ears. And so we've only been on one Disney cruise. It is very difficult with our schedule with our boys to be able to get to Florida, take what we will prefer a 5-day trip. We're not interested in going all the way to Florida to go to the Bahamas and go for 3 days because we flew all the way out there. I want to do a 4-night at minimum, 5-day, like a Monday through Friday. But as you can imagine with kids in school and sports, that gets a little hard. So we did San Diego in 2022. It was actually the same year we went to Paris. We were like on a roll, but we left out of San Diego, which meant that we can leave our home in the morning and then we can actually get on the boat. So we actually purchased these on the boat. So you see it has still the sequence, but it goes in a line similar to like water waves. Pretty cool. So I don't even know what color blue this is, but I'm gonna say it's the blue of the water. So you have the sequence ears on both sides. Then you have the stripe boat, and it actually is leather. You can see, you can hear it. You have the leather bow. Then you have the logo for the boat. We went on the Disney Wonder, which I know is the older ships, but it was 4 nights and it was nice and it was peaceful. And we definitely want to go back. That is our getaway. if we don't want to fly all the way to Florida and we don't want to go to Alani, but we want to be on water and we don't want to go to the parks. Now, the sides are also leather as well. This is very similar to the Grand Floridian. I did not get the Loungefly, but as you can see, it says Disney Loungefly. And in the inside, it has the blue suede material. These are fairly comfortable. I've actually worn these quite a bit to the parks. They definitely stand out. Again, these you can only purchase, from what I understand, actually on the cruise. So make sure when you are going to particular resorts for Disney and like special events like this, that you get the items while you're there, because odds are when you try to do Shop Disney, you won't be able to find them, nor can you find them in the parks. Now, I will say for Paris, we have found some Paris items when we've been at Epcot. So I'm gonna pop up a video right here and describe what you are seeing. We actually just recently went to Disneyland and got a little chilly at night. So I love this particular jacket. It was a raincoat that we bought at Epcot during a New Year's year that we went like 2 years ago. But it's a thin little hoodie per se, a little jacket, almost a rain jacket that turns into Mickey Mouse ears that I purchased for my youngest son, but we bought it at Epcot in the Paris area, you know, when you're going around the World Showcase. And so you can go in there and they do actually have ears like my Paris ears. So that's one little hack. Even if you have not been there, you can still represent or manifest a trip out of the country by buying ears relevant to the countries that you are visiting around Epcot at Walt Disney World. But outside of that, you will have to be on property or on the boat or at the location for the particular ears. So that wraps up my Disney collection for my ears. Let me know below, which pair of ears do you like the most? Again, the ones that I can find, I will actually link them below. If you like content like this related to Disney, abundant experiences as a wife, as a mom, I am a mama bear, and I am in Southern California, so we are magic key holders and we go to Disneyland quite a bit and capture content, short form and long form content. If you like stuff like this, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button, like this video, hit the bell so that you can be reminded of any videos that we upload. You will see a wide range of videos, especially related to experiences as a family around the Disney area, a lot around Disneyland and DCA. We do go to Walt Disney World, but we have slowed down because our boys are playing sports, both of them, a 7 and a 14-year-old. And then we do Alani at least now. It's probably going to be once every other year. We were going at least 2 to 3 times a year. That is our home resort. So if you do have questions around Alani or Disney Vacation Club, I will make sure to link our Alani videos below. But if you have particular questions that you would love for me to do a Q&A about, please let me know. I will be happy to do it. I love these videos. I love connecting. This is our little abundant corner on the internet. And so without further ado, that wraps up my ears collection. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.